Hello, welcome to Brumbies TV. I'm Brittany Bleemer. We've got lots of action packed into this week's episode, so stay tuned.
On tonight's episode, Joe Powell and Anea join us in the studio. We look back at the Brumbies' emotional win over the Waratahs, and we check in on the John Ident Cup. Thanks, Andrew Smith, for joining us on Brumbies TV. You're recovering from a foot injury, I understand. How did that come about?
Yeah, a bit of a weird injury I've got at the moment. Sort of the ligaments under my foot, they're just not right at the moment. So it's sort of week by week at the moment. Hopefully be back running soon and take it from there.
And how was it watching the game on the weekend?
Yeah, it's always tough to watch. Very nervous watching it. It was a tough game for the boys. But in the end, it was a great result, and it was a victory that we definitely needed.
So you often play in the centres, and that's one of your main positions. Joe Tamani is also a centre player. He had a blinder on the weekend, the first time any player for the Brumbies has scored a hat-trick against the Waratahs.
Yeah, he had a really good game. It was good to see the backs scoring a few tries. Sort of haven't really been taking opportunities of late, so it was good that we created a few opportunities and Joe was there to finish them, which was really nice.
Was there a turning point in the match from your perspective?
Not so much a turning point. I think we were really strong in a few areas. Breakdown, we were very strong, and defensively, we were very good. And as I said, we took our opportunities in attack, which was nice to see.
So some fantastic defence at the end of the game there. Is that something the team's worked on specifically?
Yeah, it is, yeah. So we've got Peter Ryan as our defensive coach, and he's sort of brought a whole new attitude to our defensive systems, and I think that was a bit evident on the weekend. You could see the way we were defending, and it was very effective. We put them under a lot of pressure, and that went a long way to winning the game for us.
So you've got 2 wins over the Waratahs, 1 win over Perth. You're sitting pretty at the top of the Australian Conference now. You turn your attention to the New Zealand teams. Tough few weeks coming up.
Yeah, definitely. New Zealand teams are always the benchmark of the competition. So this weekend we've got the Crusaders, which is another massive game for us. They've been in great form. I think they've won maybe 6 in a row, so they're almost the form team of the competition, so it's going to be a huge game.
So I wanted to turn our attention to the Crusaders now. So this Sunday we have the Anzac Day match. Special significance around that game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a special moment for all the guys. It means a lot to us all, and it's a privilege to play on such a special occasion. So it's a huge game and against the Crusaders, and it's going to be a tough one.
So what do you have to do to beat the Crusaders?
We don't really want to change too much the way we've been playing. We just want to concentrate on ourselves, really, not too much on them. We feel if we stick to our structure of the game, we can score tries and win the game. Defensively, we want to play the same, pressure their breakdown, try and slow their ball down. They've got very good attacking players, so defensively we're going to have to be strong. And once again, we're going to have to take opportunities when we're given them.
Are there any players amongst the Crusaders group that you watch out for specifically?
They've got a very strong back row, so I think breakdown's going to be very important. And also their back three, their wingers and fullback are very dangerous. They can sort of create chances and sort of score from anywhere. Israel Dagg's back from injury and he was very good on the weekend, so he's a player to watch.
Andrew Smith, thanks so much for spending some time on Brumbies TV.
No worries, thank you.
Beat the Tars once in Sydney, so out at Homebush, so it's well aware of how tough a task it is, so it's definitely a very, very satisfying win and gets our season back on track.
Never easy winning up here in New South Wales and went right down to the death there, so great grind by the boys and great to get the win.
Oh, it was a bit emotional week for us with Big Doc's finishing up, hanging his boots up, so yeah, there's a lot of talk there. To do it for him and there for us.
The Rebels hit first in their encounter with the Hurricanes in Melbourne. But the good times didn't last long for the home side. Hurricanes number 8, Victor Vito, found the first gap. The game raised questions over the Amy Park playing surface, which will be used to host a test match in June. but Corey Jane had no trouble finding traction, celebrating his 101st Super Rugby game with this try. The onslaught continued deep into the second half. Slick hands and searing pace helped Bowden Barrett over the line, the Hurricanes securing a bonus point victory, moving up the ladder. Whatever disappointment the Rebels felt in Melbourne was dwarfed by the devastation in the Sunwolves camp. The Cheetahs also claimed a bonus point victory, winning 92-17 over the Japanese side. All sorts of records tumbled in Bloemfontein as the Cheetahs cruised to the second biggest victory in Super Rugby history. The Cheetahs ran in 7 tries to none in the first half. The Sunwolves didn't give up. Cheetahs back rower Paul Schumann scored a hat-trick and the Sunwolves are on their way back home. In other games this round, the Crusaders had a good win over the Jaguars. The Blues held on against a strong Sharks outfit. The Reds' tough season continued in South Africa, going down to the Bulls, and the Lions upset the Stormers. To the ladder, the Chiefs remain out front, leading the New Zealand Conference. The Brumbies lead the Australian group on 21 points, and the Rebels are the next best Australian team. There has been some movement on the bottom half of the ladder. The Cheetahs' victory gets them closer to finals contention, but the Jaguars and Sunwolves continue to struggle in their first season.
Yeah, it's real good, obviously being back home. You know, Brumbies is a team with good culture, and it's real easy to, you know, mix in with the boys when it has good culture, both, you know, as a playing group and in the staff as well, so yeah.
Well, I suppose just being a younger sort of person in the team, it's good sort of having a mentor. I think I first met Christian like when I was playing for Tuggies, so I think having met him before I came into the Brumbies system was kind of an easier way of kind of getting introed into the professional kind of side of it. Oh, they do, and they just also, you know, keep it easy and keep it fun, you know. Tell me when I'm doing something wrong and, you know, help me out when I need to be helped.
Oh, I love it. I think, you know, to get the best out of yourself, you've got to be playing and training alongside the best, you know, for me, the best loose heads. And I see, you know, a Wallaby and Alan Alatoa in the coming future, and obviously Scotty's a well-established Wallaby, so, you know, for me to come to training, it's awesome to see them in form, first and foremost, but just to learn off those two boys. And we got other people in the front row that are, you know, getting better with age. You know, we got Bongo and we got Squeak, who are just playing out of their skin at the moment, in real good form. So it's good to see the front row in good form. But we've got a long way to go, and we've got to be, you know, at the right part of the season in the finals. So we've got to keep working hard. Pretty much, did the pre-season 2 years ago with the Brumbies, and then went back to my apprenticeship. And I think it was a Tuesday night before the Rebels game last year. Bernie called me and said, "Would you like to play this weekend?" So of course I said yes, and then the next day I had to turn up at work and said, "Well, I won't be here for the rest of the week and maybe a couple more weeks." So boss was happy, and then at one stage he wasn't that happy either that I wouldn't be there. So that was a really good experience. He does like rugby, yes, and does support the Brumbies, so that made it a bit easier.
I played rugby as a child, played every year since I was 6 years old. I was kicking too many people at soccer, and my old man said it's time to move across to rugby and like your brothers, and I've played ever since. I never thought I'd end up in Canberra, but I remember my old man saying to me, you know, you should play at Brumbies, they play the way you kind of like to play. And so it's been a dream come true ever since I've come here. I remember just being on the bench and kind of not wanting to get called on, and every time, about half an hour to go, I got the tap on the shoulder, "You're on," and when we held on and just won the game, I almost gave away a penalty and lost us the game. But yeah, it was an amazing feeling to finally do something that I'd always dreamed of doing. I try to sleep as long as I can in the morning, and then I'll go out for breakfast somewhere, and then just really have a real chilled out afternoon. Try to watch anything that's not sport, so usually sit in front of the telly and watch a breezy rom-com or something like that.
there's no left boot on before right boot on or anything like that for me. Just get ready. I always use a new roll of tape for my line out. That's the only thing I have. That's I never use an old one, so I always use a new roll, and that's my only kind of weird thing that I do. It's a real uplifting experience when you walk through that tunnel and you see that full stand the other side, the Greg and Larkham stand on the other side of the field, and you see that, you see a full, there's something about that. You just go, oh geez, people are into this, we're ready to go. So it's obviously a big part of why you play is the support you get from everybody.
Yeah, it's always, the Anzac Test match is a huge match. It doesn't matter what team you play for. An honour for the Anzacs that have gone before us. It's a passionate game, and both teams will be up for it. So it'll be a good challenge for us, and a good challenge for them as well. It's a huge one. Can't say any more than that. So yeah.
I think it's just being ready to be up for like a fast-paced game. Versus New Zealand sides, it's always going to be an up-tempo kind of game. So it's just knowing, mentally prepared for that going into it. It's going to be physicality. It's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of ball in play minutes. So just got to be ready for it. I don't personally know of it, but I suppose I've got a younger brother and I'm very competitive with him, so I'd say it'd be the same for Alan.
Yeah. Well, I think his brother plays tight head and Alan's a loose head, so yeah, I'm hoping they get to clash against each other. It'll be a special moment between them two. Crusaders are good all round. I think Nadolo out on the wing is I grew up with him in Brisbane, so he's going to be dangerous out there on the wing. There's a lot of key matches, but we just got to stick to our game plan and see what happens.
I suppose up front, our forward pack, with its dominant scrum, continue that, get us on a good platform to use the backs out wide and score a few tries and get a bonus point would be nice.
Let's take a look at how the sides match up ahead of their clash this weekend. 22 games have been played between the Crusaders and the Brumbies, the Crusaders winning 14. At GIO Stadium, the Brumbies will be looking to improve their record with one more win than the men from Christchurch. The last time the sides met was in June last year when the Crusaders ran to a 13-point win. Both sides would have been doing some homework this week as they've only played twice in the last 24 months. In other games this week, the Highlanders host the Sharks, the informed Cheetahs travel to Melbourne. On Saturday, the competition newcomers, the Sunwolves and the Jaguars face each other in Tokyo. The Chiefs play the Hurricanes in a blockbuster in Wellington. The Waratahs head to Perth and the Stormers play the Reds. Early Sunday morning, the Kings take on the Lions before the big Brumbies Anzac Day game.
Most annoying teammate, it's probably a tie. Jared Butler would be up there, he's just always causing trouble. And maybe James Dargaville as well.
Iravaya, big Docs.
Why is that?
Oh, he's just always a pest, always a pest. Just, I don't know, you just hear his voice from anywhere. There'll be Alan. She always talk too much. Just talk too much, everything. I think he's always right.
Well, seeing as Blake threw me under the bus, I'm going to say Blake Enever as well.
What does he do to annoy you?
Well, as a big tennis ball that he is, he's just always around causing a ruckus.
Oh, definitely Alan Alatoa. Yeah, loud, obnoxious, and then he's too big, you can't do anything about it.
Probably young Nick Juiced, I'd say.
Why is that?
Oh, just because he's a young pest and always gets in the way, he's always annoying.
Probably Tev and Nigel.
Why then?
Tev's always got practical jokes. He's always doing something to get on your nerve, and Nigel just sings a lot when he's got a terrible voice, so that's annoying.
Jared Butler.
Why?
He's my roommate. We've been rooming together for the last 3 years, so it's pretty much like that love-hate relationship. You know, you become, it's almost like you're brothers, and so you love him but you hate him, and he's got some pretty dirty habits. He's always picking and smelling his toenails, and all sorts of dirty stuff. He always grinds his teeth when he sleeps at night, so that's pretty annoying, yep.
Rory Arnold.
Why is that?
I don't know, he's just annoying. He's always a pest.
Probably Alan Alatoa. He cracks a few jokes and they're just not funny, so yeah, probably Alan.
Both Uni North and West had a bye in the first round, and the start of season yips were evident across the clubs in their round 2 clash. Ill discipline and handling errors prevented any flow in the first half at ANU North Oval. There were plenty of opportunities for both sides, but desperate Uni North's defence prevented West from converting this run into points. The score 0-0 at half-time. The struggle didn't continue long into the second half though, West's Chris Ashmore finding space on the blind side just a few minutes in. More strong Uni North defence stopped the visiting side from extending the lead before Owls centre Phil Ferreira hit back for the home side. Both sides kicked penalties to maintain the deadlock, but the Owls would be the first to find some flow. This try was the first of 3 unanswered 5-pointers for Uni North. Fullback Sam Irwin sparked his backline into action as the Owls started to run away with the game. Irwin set up this try, Uni North's 3rd in a row, before helping direct Liam Berry into a big gap. West didn't give up despite the 22-point deficit, Ashmore continuing to point out chinks in the Owls' armour. Brumbies scrum half Michael Dowsett played a big role for the home side, but the Man of the Match award went to Nick Jones for his work in the back line. The final score 32 points to 15.